Welcome back, everybody. Episode 7 of the postseason pod. Well into the third week of the NHL season. A lot of exciting things have gone on. A couple injuries, couple season debuts to talk about, and a full slate of all 32 teams taking the ice on the Frozen Frenzy on Tuesday. So looking forward to talking to everybody about it, and let's get into it with a few of the season debuts for tonight. So what do we got, Bryce?
Uh, after a long anticipated, even had a song after him. Joseph Wall will be starting tonight versus the Blues. How I mean personally, I think it's Stolar's net to lose, but I mean we'll see how he does tonight. And then we have Luke Hughes and Brett Pesci backing up in the D man for New Jersey versus Red Wings. And then just other news like around the league, injuries. Robert Thomas is out 6 weeks with a fractured ankle. And then Utah's own Sean Durzee's out 4 to 6 months, and Marino is 3 to 4. And then I think and Duclair's out 4 to 6 weeks for the New York Islanders.
Yeah, tough loss for the Islanders. Regarding Joseph Woll, I think I'm on board with that. I think Stolarz has looked really good, actually. Looks big in the net, looks confident. Doesn't look like the moment's too big for him playing in Toronto. I think that may almost help. Like, he's never really been a starting goalie, so he sort of really has nothing to lose. Just play well and sort of make the saves when needed. But if Woll can come in and play well, then that'll be big for them to have two good goalies who they could rely on every night. And then obviously the Devils really need help on the back end. My sneaky Calder shout out, Seamus Casey, just terrible pick by me. His lack of ice time was never going to go up. He finished the season like averaging 10 minutes of ice, but maybe next year. But yeah, getting Luke Hughes and Brett Pesci back is going to be big. They let up 8 goals to the Lightning on Tuesday. One was off a stanchion from the other blue line, so I guess it's 7 like real goals that they let up. But still, you can't win games giving up 7 goals. So hopefully Sheldon Keefe can get those guys quickly integrated into the system, and hopefully it's up from here for the New Jersey Devils, who lead the league in games played and still don't sit atop of the standings. So hopefully for them it'll be a nice refresh and 2 really good and solid additions on the blue line for them. Yeah, like we touched on, full slate of games on Tuesday. Frozen Frenzy kicked off at 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern, I believe it was.
Capitals.
Yeah. Capitals Flyers. First half, the home and home that they played. It was obviously a Capitals win, who are red hot right now. I think you said it before. What have they won, 5 or 6 in a row?
Five straight, and then the Flyers have lost 6 straight.
Yeah, so it was sort of a tale of 2 opposite streaks going on. I mean, you saw it last year with Carberry and what he was able to do with that group. They brought in a lot of help up front and in the back end. Still surprised the 2 right-handed goalies haven't caught up to them yet. But, yeah, they seem to look good, which is unfortunate for ourselves as Islanders fans. We never want to see the Capitals play well. But, yeah. What other games did you like from that early window besides the terrible New York Islanders?
I thought the Wild one was interesting. I mean, it was Kachuk's.
They've been red hot too.
Yeah, they have. They've been unreal. Zuccarello, I think, has like 5 goals now. And then Kaprizov's one of the goals was, I forget what goal it was, but it was just he wheeled around like the whole zone and then faked out Bobrovsky, and then it just passed to Zuccarello for a wide open net. I mean, it was an unreal goal.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and they spoiled Kachuk's debut because he was out like sick for a few weeks. But yeah, just like you said, like they look good. Huge dominant win, 5-1. I think this is gonna come to bite me in I don't think I had them in the playoffs when we did our preview. So
Yeah, I don't know if I did either.
yeah, so
Not
I'm
looking
just
good early. It's not looking good early for us.
no, especially because the team I put above them got shut out. Utah Hockey Club. You need to wake up. But yeah, I mean that was a really interesting game. And then honestly, like an entertaining game that like I didn't think it was Calgary Pittsburgh, like
Yeah.
sneaky. Like that was a really good game in a shootout. Um, Nedeljkovic, I think that was his debut as well. He
Yeah.
was the hurdle today, sneaky hard one
Okay. Yeah.
because he's American, but you don't think like you
No,
forget that he's American.
yeah.
But yeah, what about you? What about your games?
Yeah. That slate. I like the bounce back ability from the undefeated, the only undefeated team in the league, the Winnipeg Jets. They went down one early on a Brandon Saad tally by the Blues, and they just blew the cover off. They scored three in a row. Saad added another one, but ultimately the Jets are just going on all cylinders right now. Um, I think actually in our season preview, we sort of scoffed over the Jets because they sort of been the same team for a long time, but we didn't sort of touch on the fact that they're like pretty elite all the time. We gave them a little bit of flowers, but I don't know if we expected a 6-0 start from them. Um, Hellebuck seems to be in great form following a rather unexpected and
Awful.
unimpressive, yeah, awful to not put it lightly, first round against the Avs. But, Connor, all cylinders. Um, Shifley's looking great. Neil Pionk has been just Mr. Consistent, getting up in the rush. And I think they probably arguably have the best third line in hockey with Appleton, Lowry, and Nino Niederreiter. Um, they can shut down the best line and they can score with the best of them. So maybe not with the best of them, but with the best of the third lines. But yeah, really impressed by them so far. And Ehlers seems to be getting a lot more ice time, which in past years hasn't been the case. And he's sort of playing like he's on a contract here, which he is. So impressed with that game. And then I'm going with my my Atlantic Division pick. You mentioned the team they beat, shut them out. The Ottawa Senators. They're
Yeah.
getting it done without Linus Ullmark, all right, which is really impressive. They went into Utah and they just said, boom, this is our game to win. Shut them out, 4-0. The big boys got on the board. Giroux, Batherson, Kachuk, Ridley Gregg scored. And Jake Sanderson, we have to point him out. He is breaking out as a top 20 defenseman in the league. Always been a fan of him since he was at North Dakota. He's just taken that number one D spot on that team from Thomas Chabot and sort of ran with it. And yeah, I think it's an exciting time for Ottawa Senators fans. I mean, they're 3-1 in their last four. They seem like they're sort of getting in the swing of things. They're able to win games without, Tim Stützle dominating and stuff like that, and without Linus Ullmark, and with probably maybe still potentially a questionable decor. But yeah, I thought that game was great. I really like the team defense they played. And I think their PK was pretty good in that game too. Obviously, they didn't give a goal the whole game, but I don't think it was like an insane amount of penalties they took.
Just one.
Yeah, just one. But yeah, I love that they actually killed off 4 power plays, so or over 2, but they said they had 8 penalty minutes. So um, yeah, I like their PK, like their all around game. I think they're getting contributions from guys down in the lineup. Like we talked about in I think last episode, it was the game where they beat the Kings 8-7.
Yeah.
They were getting contributions from guys that, Zach McEwen, Adam Gaudette, like those depth guys, which I think is really good. So yeah, I liked the Senators' effort that night, and then I just thought it was funny that the Oilers lost in overtime with like 8 seconds left in overtime. Sebastian Aho had a one-timer, but McDavid scored twice, if I remember correctly. Had a snipe actually, his first one, right over the glove of Freddie Anderson. But I thought it was pretty funny how they lost that game. So maybe now on to a bigger issue with one of those games, and it's the fact that the Detroit Red Wings set a record for the least amount of shots on goal in a win since 1959, which, it seems to me that the only thing the Islanders are good for these days are setting records for other teams. So we need to talk about the Islanders. First game without Anthony Duclair. Simon Holmstrom bumped up to that first line. And per Patrick Waugh, they dominated every facet of the game, but still lost 1-0. I agree that they played well. I agree that they had chances. Lyon robbed Barzal on a backdoor chance. Good save, but honestly, it just has to go in. And then Sorokin, he's played unbelievable. He's leading the league in goals against, probably top 5 in save percentage. I haven't checked.
He is. He's number 5.
Yeah, he's got to be. And he has a record of 1-1-1. I think he's let up 4 goals in 3 games, and he's lost 2 of them. It's just utter embarrassment on the island not being able to put the puck in the back of the net.
You said it. This team gets ridiculed, right? Constantly for these boring games, these 1 goal, 2 goal, games. But if you think about it on paper, they should be able to score. Like you said, Barzal got robbed. They've had Brock Nelson, who's been 35 plus, the last 3 years. Bo Horvat probably hits 2 posts a game. And then, Dobson last night had an in zone, kind of broke through, got to the crease, and then just lost the handle on the puck. They had their chances. They just for me, they just didn't take enough risks. I want to see someone do some individual brilliance, or just take a chance. Maybe have a guy just for one shift, just for the fun of it, just send him at the blue line, just cherry pick just for a second, do something unexpected or something. But you said it. Sorokin played really well. This team is what now, 2 for 19 on the power play.
That is a big issue. Big issue is the special teams on the island.
And then I understand you're figuring things out on the power play, especially because it's abysmal.
The power play groups were unacceptable.
JG Pageau cannot be on the power play 1 in any team in the NHL.
Unacceptable.
JG Pageau cannot be power play 1, especially the bumper on a team in the NHL.
And he's a bumper where the guy who's passing him the puck on the left side is Brock Nelson, and he is not passing the puck to the bumper. It's just not happening. Maybe Anders Lee if they give it down and give it straight to the slot, but the teams are all over that because the group. First of all, I don't even want to remember what it was. I think it was Horvat, Dobson, Palmieri. I don't even care. Whoever. Pageau and Lee on the first power play or some nonsense. I don't even know.
Awful.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but the only way we've scored 2 power play goals is a pass from Matt Barzal to Bo Horvat in the bumper slot.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And we get rid of that. We separate those guys. Why? Why are we separating those guys? Siplikov, fantastic in front of the net and behind the net. He uses behind the net really well. He's able to find those guys on the flanks, create a little deception. He always looks for that Dobson pass as well when all 4 PKers are looking at him. So he tries to find the guy up high, which I love. But the only way we've scored is Matt Barzal. I actually saw a breakdown of this. It was insane. It was Matt Barzal gets the shot fake. The D has to respect it. And he turns his body to give the puck to Dobson. And once that guy's stick goes towards Dobson, he feathers the pass right through to Bo Horvat for the goal. It was a beautiful breakdown. But separating those guys, you're just asking, to not score. And the first 2 power plays, I actually thought they were okay, whatever.
Yeah.
They shots. A big portion of them, I think, is they outshot him 29-10, but I would rather see out shooting 18-10, but 16 of 18 being semi to high danger chances. I feel like a lot of the shots we get are just like sifting pucks from the point through, no screen, goalie just gloves it, right? Like, and I know they're in practice today, they were emphasizing getting guys in front of the goalie's eyes, which is good. I mean, it's always good to have net presence, but um, yeah, they often do a lot of perimeter passing on the power play. And when they do take a shot from the point, it's either blocked or it misses the net. But yeah, they've played 6 games this year. They've gotten shut out in 3 of them. Um, and it's not even like the only team we've gotten shut out against that's like a good team is the Stars. And supposedly, I didn't watch that game because it was blocked out in my region. That's another issue that we have to deal with, the fucking blocking out of whatever. But supposedly we dominated that game too. But I don't like the issue with me is like I don't know how we can say we dominated a game when we get shut out. Like you do not dominate if you lose. Like maybe you can dominate facets of the game, but that's just me. Like I don't care if you play like if it's game 7 in the Stanley Cup and these guys got shut out and Patrick Waugh came out and said we dominated, like it doesn't matter. I'd rather you play terrible and score 5 goals and win.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. But I don't know. Something needs to change. Duclair being out sucks because he helps that first line. I don't even know who I would put on that first line. Like they don't have anybody. They literally do not have anybody that is like competent enough to play up there. It's
I would just put Casey back up there. I mean, he played a little bit last year, and he was the best solution. Like, because we really, like you're saying, we don't have anyone else. I mean, we brought up Liam Foudy last night. I mean, I don't even know how much he played. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't. This team's like this. The only bright spot on this team besides goaltending is like 24-year-old Alexander Romanov. Like he's the only bright spot on this team.
Yeah.
Like he's 24, and I think he's on a contract here with Dobson too. Like I think, like we have no money. Everyone needs to get re-signed. I don't know. Like I was so confident going into this year too. Like
Yeah.
I think
actually another bright spot. There's this goalie we drafted in the 5th round. He's playing over in Sweden. 6'6", 215. Marcus Gidloff. He is 7-0 with a 1.31 and like a 9.60 in Swedish juniors. And he played his first career SHL game for Leksands, where Casimir Sewell played. And he stopped 20 of 21 shots, got the win. And he's like, hopefully, like we can just trade Sorokin honestly and bring this guy over. But yeah, it's another bright spot, I guess. But not a lot of bright spots on Long Island. I really just wish that like I said it off the air, but like we needed to trade for a pure goal scorer. Like it's great over by you. We got Cole Iserman winning Hockey East Rookie of the Week, but like he's not going to play for us for three years. And by that time, our window, which is like this big, if that big at all, is going to be over. I saw a guy rant about how they needed to move off of Pellick and Pollock because they're just $12 million of dead cap space skating around being terrible. Agree with that. He was like, they need to get younger on the blue line. I'm like, I agree with that. But yeah.
I think they just need to. I think Juan needs to, whatever tactics he thinks he has, just like I think they need to completely just if they're thinking of like a game where it's like, okay, like let's wind the puck. Like we've seen them just do perimeter passing even when they're in zone, right? I think they just need to switch their game up completely. Like make themselves a transitional team. Your strength is clearly your defense. So just make your game a transitional game where you can once you have that good defense in your own zone or the neutral zone, just be able to quickly just transition up the ice again. Like because otherwise I don't see this team like scoring, like this team isn't built for scoring goals, like having 3 minutes inside the zone. You know what I mean? Like I think the only way this team's successful is if on the transition they they catch teams by surprise.
Yeah, we had a 3-on-2 on Tuesday against Detroit. It was, I think it was Casey Cizikas, Scott Mayfield, and Mike Riley on a 3-on-2. Like, that is like the expected goals of that odd man rush have to be negative. Like,
Mayfield brings it down, but Bobby
I
Riley,
don't,
don't disrespect him.
yeah, whatever.
Bobby Orr.
Connor McRiley.
Yeah.
But like, dude, I'm like what? Like, there in no other league or no other franchise would these three guys be on a 3-on-2 together. Just the New York Islanders, and it's like, oh my god, like where's Wallstrom? Like, at least put Wallstrom like in the 3-on-2. Like, at least he'll shoot the puck. Like, whatever. But I was so frustrated at the fact that they spoiled Butch's birthday, but whatever. But yeah, frustrating times on the island. It sucks that what's his face Duclair is out for 6 weeks because he probably would have gotten like 50 points maybe with us.
Yeah,
probably 50.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, but yeah, they're 2-2-2, perfectly 500. But yeah, we'll closely monitor what they're doing. This is more of a personal topic for me. My Chicago Blackhawks got smoked on the Frozen Frenzy against Connor Bedard's hometown team, and yeah, I'm worried as a Blackhawks fan. I'm losing trust quickly in this rebuild that Kyle Davidson has performed. I'm losing patience as a fan. I always wanted them to be bad this year, but I don't know if I can endure another 76 games of bad hockey again. Connor Bedard is not doing it for me. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. He's not doing it for me. He's got 7 points in 7 games, but if you weren't just a stat watcher and a games played watcher, you would see that all these points came in 3 different games. So in over half the games he's played, he's pointless. There's been a lot of articles released this week about the fact that he has 2 goals in his last 21 games dating back to last season, but it also shows that he has the most chances. So people are optimistic that the bubble is going to burst pretty soon. But I don't know. I think if you're labeled the generational talent, you're labeled the next whatever. That's a lot of pressure to live up to, right? But you can't afford the sophomore slump if you're that guy. I'm sorry, you can't. And I know he's point per game, whatever. I don't care. I'd rather him have 5 points in 7 games, but score in 5 different games. Like, I want consistency. And I know that's difficult. He's creating chances, no doubt about it. He's creating chances 5-on-5. He's creating chances sort of on the power play. Also, he scored 1 goal. 1 goal in 7 games. He shoots the puck well, very well. Shoots the puck quite a bit. He started to shoot a little bit more. Kevin Lankinen was on fire. There was a few shots that I thought he just got a piece of. But he needs to be more shoot first on the man advantage. He's always looking to pass.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because this is, I mean, if you ask the general population, if you ask him, he'll be like, oh, my creativity is the best. But his shot is otherworldly. He needs to be able to score on the man advantage, whether that's one-timers, whether that's catching the pass, moving in the middle, shot, whatever. And his 6 assists, I believe 5 of them are secondary assists, which is like whatever to me. I need him to be more assertive. I just need, I don't know. The more and more I watch him, the less and less I'm like, I feel like he's sort of on the Patrick Kane side as opposed to the Jonathan Toews side, you know? Like, I fear that, like,
when he gets to 25, like he's not going to be willing to like get in the dirty areas. And that's what you need to win. And frankly, if he's that guy, like I don't think I want him as my captain. Like I want a guy that's going to go in there, he's going to fight, he's going to skill, he's going to beat you, whatever. But maybe we'll get that in the draft this year. But I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting really early. This guy's played like 77 career games. I don't know. That's my mini rant on the superstar in Chi-Town. I'm actually going to see him play this Saturday in Dallas. So hopefully, because I'll be in the stands, he'll turn it up a bit. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not moved by secondary assists. I want him to score. I want him to score 50 goals. I want him to score so many goals, but I think he's deferring a little too much.
To go to your want, about him shooting more. He's 20th in the league, 3.57 per game average per game.
Yeah, he shoots the puck like between 3 to 5 times a game, and like shots on goal, that doesn't include attempts, I don't think. But
no,
I'm gonna look at what his percentage is. Like, what is his shooting percentage? So he scored 1 goal. Does it say how many shots he has this year?
I don't know.
He has 25 shots. He's 25 shots in 7 games. He scored 1 goal on 25 shots, which is not high at all. What is it? 1 divided by 25. 0.04%. So it's pace for like 1 goal in 7 games.
It's bad. It's
bad.
not even worth the pace. It's not even worth the pace.
He's on pace for like 11 and a half goals.
Yeah.
Which I hope the bubble bursts soon, because if he can only, I mean, I know he can score more than 1 goal every 25 shots, but I don't know. I'm fearful of the rebuild, and I think I'm taking I think I'm taking it out a little bit heavy on our quote Lord and Savior, because I think his immediate impact is being muted a little bit by the fact that he's not able to put the puck in the net effectively 7 games into the year. But I have faith. I'm looking forward to the draft because it looks like we'll be at a top 5 spot again. But yeah, they got smoked again, but it's time to move on. They play a tough back-to-back. They go Nashville, who finally got their first win, which is great for them. And then they go to Dallas, and I'll be in attendance for that, which will be cool. So, good win for Barry Trotz. They shut out the Bruins. That's your guy. You love Barry. What do you think about the Preds finally getting off the schneid?
Yeah, I think it was bound to happen. I picked them to win. I didn't think that it would be a statement like 4-0 type sort of win. Especially, I mean, Swayman did play really well, but I mean, yeah, I knew it was bound to happen. Like, you know, they got like Gustav Nyquist finally scored. Like, you know, O'Reilly scored, and then Evangelista got his first. Like, you know, like Gustav Nyquist.
Yossi scored, I think.
No, it was Novak, Tommy Novak.
Yeah.
But like we were when we were doing our preview, right? Like, how important is like guys like Nyquist to this team? Like 60 points last year. Like if he can replicate that, like this team's in a really good place. But I mean, yeah, like they're what 1-5-1 now or 1-5.
Yeah, something like that. 1-5, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, no offense to your Hawks, but you know, hopefully they can start, you know, a little bit of a streak. Cause I mean, that should be 2 wins right there.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about this team.
Yeah, they're 1-5.
I mean, I'm not worried about this team at all. like, Nashville, Bridgestone Arena, like once they get going, like this team's not gonna stop. Like they're gonna go on that FU2 tour, whatever it's called, run like last year.
Yeah.
Like I'm not worried about this team. Their next two games should be wins. Blackhawks and CBJs, even though the CBJs shocked the Leafs
Yeah,
on
they were
Frozen Frenzy.
Yeah, they were unreal.
So I mean, their schedule doesn't get easier after that. So I might be waffling, but like I'm not worried about this team at all. I think they have a lot of veteran guys, and once you get like a few wins under your belt, like it, you just feel like the monkey's off the back. Like you just feel better. You're closer as a team. Like they brought in a lot of new pieces, got rid of a lot of pieces. Like I'm, they still have UC Soros in the back end. This team's gonna be fine.
Actually been statistically one of the worst goalies in the league this year. So,
Yeah,
regarding like goals save above expected and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think they just got to get used to the new guy on the team. I think it was just slow starts from a lot of guys, unfortunately. But yeah, actually, touch on that Nyquist goal. Did you see it or no?
Yeah, saw change up.
Oh, it was so sick. Like came down the board, acted like he was gonna rip one, and just fluttered it right over the pad of Swayman.
Yeah.
You said he played well, but I've actually been sort of like underwhelmed a little bit with his play thus far this year. Yeah. Not in that game, but I think it was the game prior to that. They lost, I think.
Yeah, I think he had a rough one the game before.
Yeah, I was watching him. I was like, dude, what is going on?
He had like 43 saves in that Nashville game.
Yeah, but I don't know. But maybe I'm just being a casual fan.
They
which
lost.
definitely
They lost 2-1 to Utah in overtime. That was their last game before Preds.
Yeah. Did you see the clip of Montgomery getting on Marchand?
Yeah. Marchand came out today.
Yeah, his response was good to that. I think he's right. I mean, guys have to be able to take those heated comments in that situation, especially when you can't really try to make a play on the blue line like that, and when it ends up in the back of your net, you got to take accountability for that, especially as the leader of that team. So I respect Marchand's view on it. I respect the fact that he believes people have gotten a little, or the media has started to scrutinize coaches getting on players. But I think that's the nature of the game, right? It would be a lot different if that happened, 10, 15 years ago. Nothing would have been said probably. But yeah, I think it's good for Montgomery to be comfortable doing that. It's good for Marchand to be able to receive that. And yeah, so a little bit of talk on the trade market front a little bit. A few of the two young and up and coming teams, and then the Preds who we just touched on are rumored to be looking for the second center position. My Blackhawks, the Flames, and then the Predators, like I mentioned. So, what do you think about those sort of speculations, and who do you think the most likely team is to go out and do that this season?
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think anything's gonna happen anytime soon, but I think the most interesting team to keep an eye on is the Flames. Like, no one thought they were gonna be this good. Like, absolutely no one. They're 5-0-1. Dustin Wolf is playing really well. Even Vladar is playing really well. Rasmus Anderson is like he's going on a Norris campaign. It seems like
he's the best.
Yeah, like scored a goal in that versus Pittsburgh, and then nailed iron in OT or maybe the third period.
But, I think it was OT. He nailed it.
And then he even scored in a shootout. I mean, it was a bad goal by Dalkovich, but I mean, this if especially as a guy who was going into this year looks like he might have gotten chopped at the deadline. If the Flames keep this on this streak up or being at least in third place in a wild card, I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and get somebody. I mean, Huberdeau looks like he is light. Kadri's Like he's gonna keep scoring and putting points up. And you got Uyghur and Anderson and two solid goalies. I mean, they're an interesting storyline to at least like keep an eye on. And I could see them going out and maybe bringing in maybe bringing in Nikolai Ehlers. I mean, I mean, stays in Canada. He's on it. The it's an interesting, because I don't really know how many people are on contracts or need contracts going into next year, but just guys. I mean, yeah, compared to your Blackhawks, I mean, I think that I don't care about the Blackhawks going out and getting a new center. I mean, it'd be cool to see if it's a big, like, no offense, but like if it's a
I
big
know.
name, like I'm there. But if it's like another, run of the mill like Donato or like Bertuzzi even like I don't.
No, they're looking at guys like Zegras. So I don't know. Obviously, I'm biased. I'm going to say the Blackhawks. I get frustrated though because I feel like Frank Nazar can sort of take that role. Maybe after a full year in the minors. So why are we trying to muster up for a trade to give up a lot of assets? But I don't even know if I'd like like I'm a Zegras guy, like whatever. But I don't even know if I'd like him on the Blackhawks. Like I don't know. I need like a McTavish, like a guy who's just gonna like get in there and
Yeah.
just I don't know. I just need that guy. We also drafted another guy in the first round this year, 18th overall, Sasha Boisvert. Um, he's a freshman at North Dakota, and he actually played with Joe Connor,
Oh wow.
in Muskegon last year. Shout out Joe Connor, lighting it up at Northeastern, Avon Farms alum. But yeah, I think he's going to be a horse. Hopefully, he can be Jonathan Tays-esque. Maybe not on the offensive end, but maybe in the other areas of the game. But I think his Blackhawks just need to be patient. I mean, I think the most sense would be the Predators due to the fact that they're sort of trying to go all in at the moment. A young center wouldn't really sort of line up with their age range of their other players, but it would sort of help them transition into that less than ideal period in the long run, which is interesting. Also, something to look at. I think you said Barry came out and said that nobody really wants to strike up any trade conversations at the moment.
Yeah.
So that sort of makes it a little difficult. But yeah, something to keep an eye out. Yeah, but tonight, a week from Halloween, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games on the slate, 18 teams in action. We're going to give you a few of our picks, who we like tonight. And yeah, so first one over to you up at TD Garden tonight. The Stars are coming to town. My town versus your town. We got Jake Ottinger, who's been absolutely lights out.
It's not on. It's sorry to interrupt. It's actually Casey.
Stop.
Nope, it's
No.
Casey versus Jeremy.
That's terrible. All right.
Why
Well,
versus why?
whatever. Well, then we got Casey DeSmith versus Jeremy Swayman. Mason Lohrei is scratch. Not really sure how I feel about that. Max Jones is a scratch. He's been pretty bad, though, per Bruins Twitter, which is kind of funny. But who do you like in this game?
I mean, it's hard not to go with Dallas. I mean, especially like they've had a few games this year that like they've come from behind or at least have played not the best, and then like that Edmonton game, right?
The Edmonton game. Yeah.
Like they didn't play well the first two periods, and then all of a sudden they just. I mean, I think it was Pickard anyway that game. So like, or Stu. It was Stu. All right. Well, It's a little bit better. Not that big of a bump up, but I mean, yeah, Dallas. They're 5-2. Bruins are 3-3-1. Pastrnak hasn't really gotten going yet. I mean, Marchand, he's still, we expect 3 surgeries. And I think Lohrei being a scratch, I didn't know that. I think that's like a huge mistake. I mean, like this, like, I don't know. He's a good young defenseman.
Isles legend Parker Wotherspoon's taking the spot.
Well, he was a regular in the lineup last year. To be fair to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going with the Stars?
It's hard to bet against them. Like,
Yeah, I'm going with the Stars too.
yeah.
Unimpressed with the Bruins thus far this year.
Yeah.
Maybe Swayman helps get a win here, but I trust Casey Smith. I think he's good enough. Next one is Toronto. Obviously, like you said, we touched on Joseph Woll. Both teams are 4-3, Blues and Leafs. Obviously, Craig Bruba's old team, so maybe they'll be able to get a little bit of fire. Jordan Binnington is playing.
Yep.
So I'll go first here. I think we'll go with. It's hard to bet against the boys up in Leafland. I've loved William Nylander's start to the year. Slowly becoming one of like my favorite players in the league to watch and sort of keep track of. I think part of that was a little bit of the Amazon series, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Willie Styles in the Toronto Maple Leafs here.
Yeah, I mean, the only good thing for the Blues tonight is Oscar Sundqvist, if you pronounce his name that way. I think he makes his debut after tearing something in last like February or March. He tore something. It was probably the ACL. But I mean, yeah, I'm not betting against the Leafs. Like I feel like they pull out some wins every now and then that just like
Convincing one.
I think
like 5-1.
I was gonna say 6-1. I think they're gonna pull out a really stomping on the Blues tonight. I mean, yeah, it's hard to bet against Leafs, like you said. But let's go to let's hear your thoughts, because we're gonna skip one team in New York because we just don't like them. Let's hear about the Devils Detroit game.
I'm gonna go with Detroit. I don't know why. Just hoping for fellow division rivals to sort of play poorly. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Devils. I think it's gonna take a little bit of time getting used to for Husey and Pesci to settle in with that decor. I think the Red Wings are gonna look to play a lot better than they did on the road on the island, and sort of bounce back from maybe you could say stealing a game or so. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Red Wings in a. Let's go with a 4-1 win.
Oh wow! All right, nice.
With a Jesper Bratt goal for the Devils.
Yes, Brad. Yep. He had a good Ricky Bobby costume. You ain't first to that.
He did.
I think this game is just going to be special teams. And that 8-5 win, I think they only scored power play goals. The Devils, or like 3 of them were power play goals. So I mean, if Red Wings stay out of the box, I think they steal another game. I think they take this tour. They steal a 2-1 win. They get outplayed the whole game.
Red Wings are at home. They went home. It's not
they're at home.
Yeah.
Oh, they're in the Joe or the Little Caesars Arena, whatever it's called. All right, then give me an empty netter on that 3-1. They don't steal the game. They just play. They play a good game. They win.
Cool. Quick intervention here. How do you feel about Bruce Cassidy's comments that he's playing Aiden Hill in front of the Four Nations face-off general managing staff, and that he's playing Samsonov against teams that don't have say in if Aiden Hill is going to be the goalie or not?
I get it, but you don't come out and say it.
We're both Aiden Hill terrible. We're both Aiden Hill haters here, but
yeah. But I can't stand it. I think the fact that he's a starting goalie in this league is unbelievable. The fact that Jordan Binnington is just not the confirmed starter, I think is such a scam. But like it's okay for Bruce behind the scenes to be like, look, like Aiden, like if he calls Aiden to the office, like, I'm playing you in front of Tampa, and I'm playing in front of like all the coaches and everything, so you can get looked at, like. But you don't go out to the media and say that. Like, that's like, that's a behind the scenes thing. Like, you don't need to say that to the media.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I mean, that's just my opinion on it. I'm curious what yours is, but I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, I think the team, like Canada, is so short-staffed on goaltending and good goaltending at that. Um, I mean, I think it's risk reward, right? Like, what if he plays terrible? Like, I think I don't know. I think it's a good strategy, but only if he plays well. And I think that's sort of saying like, okay, Bruce has confidence in his goalie that he'll be able to put on a good performance, and Aiden's gonna be like, okay, I gotta perform tonight. So yeah, I don't know. That was sort of a stupid answer at times, but
you tied it up at the end. You
yeah.
gotta.
I mean, it's true though. Like it's
Yeah,
only
yeah,
a good decision if he plays well. Like
yeah. Yeah. Oh.
if he plays poorly, it's stupid. It's like whatever. We're gonna go down to the Sunshine State at the Lightning. Do you think the Wild are gonna stay undefeated in regulation?
It's Vasilevsky versus Flurry.
Ooh,
Um,
I'm
Spurs.
going. I'm going Lightning off that. Gustafson's hot. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Flurry's cool, but like I don't know. Vasilevsky's been pretty poor too. Lightning just scored 8 goals. Brandon Hagel hat trick, shout out. Ex Hawk legend. Yeah, I'll go. I really don't want to say Lightning, but I'll go Lightning. In OT though, so that the
No,
Wild
see.
still say undefeated in regulation.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Lightning. Uh, OT is interesting. Yeah,
I'm gonna say
I don't think.
6-5. 6-5 T.
Yeah, I mean the Flurry one. Like as much as I hate to say it, but like Gustafson's the guy, and then Jesper Wallsted's like you might rotate those backups every now and then, but I think Lightning win 4-1. I want to say. I think Vasilevsky's gonna have a huge like the game before the Devils game he got yanked. I want to say. So I think he had a few days off. Yeah, a few days off. Those Russians they got to get mentally in. Um, yeah, I think Lightning win 4-1.
Yeah. But actually, if you're like actually considering who to look at, I would definitely bet on the Wild. They're at plus 136. They're not even the favorite. I would definitely place that on the Wild, but
Uh,
whatever. Panthers, Rangers, Panthers.
yeah, nothing
Uh,
needs to be said.
Hurricanes, Flames. Let's go Flames. What the hell? Right?
Kochetkov versus Vladar.
Kochetkov, he stinks. Yeah, Flames. What the hell? Anthony Mantha, game-winning goal.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't know what the score is, but Anthony Mantha's going to score.
Yeah, did he score in the? He did score in the shootout too. On
Yeah,
Tuesday. Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I don't want the Hurricanes to win, so I'm all Team Flames. So, 6-1, hopefully. Um, Gritty game. Let's go 4-3. 4-3 Flames.
All right.
But
Utah versus the Avs. Who do you got?
well, automatically I got to go Avalanche because of two reasons. One,
Right-handed
Georg.
goalie.
That's the majority. Righty goalie Vishmelka stinks. And then the second reason is Georgiev's not starting. So I mean, can't get any worse for Avalanche. And Makar, I think, leads the league in points of like 15. So
But he can't keep the puck out of the net. Quick note on the Avs. They sent down Ryder Ritchie. No, not Ryder Ritchie. Callum
Callum.
Ritchie. Back to Oshawa, the OHL. Sort of had his 7 games or so to get his feet wet. 5 to 7 games. Looked good in most of them. Only had 1 goal. Cool to score. First goal obviously was against the Islanders. But yeah, he'll make the team next year probably. Calvin DeHaan is playing, Islander legend.
mm,
But yeah, I think the Avs need a win. They just need one. So yeah, I'll go with the Avs, and I think, oh my God, they're their bottom line is just three guys that like nobody's ever heard of before. I'm gonna go with a Nikolai Kovalenko goal.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a rookie, played in the KHL last year, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Nikolai Kovalenko goal. Utah, it's gonna be tough for them to get beaten twice in a row on home ice, though. Whatever, Avalanche.
Yeah, I think
Next.
those two defensemen being out too is gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. We're going to the Kraken. Jets coming in town undefeated. Are they going to stay undefeated?
I don't think so. What do you think?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a Jets guy. I don't know. I like Nikolai Ehlers. I think Morrissey is really good, underrated at times as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a convincing one. I'm gonna go 6-3 Jets.
Oh wow. All right. I think if they start Joey Decord, I think it's they're like Kraken. They're built on that the second line, and then their fourth line or whatever. But I think Decor is gonna have a really good game. I think guys like Jared McCann, Yanni Gord. We've seen even like Eberle pop like 4 goals for this team now. Like they do have a lot of like depth. And then Eli Tolvanen, whatever Eli Tolvanen. I think they have a lot of depth scoring. I think it's a low scoring game actually. I think it's. I don't want to say it's 1-0, but like I want to say it's like 2-0, 3-0 at max. Kraken.
Okay, yeah, sure. And then following a 7-game road slate, the Kings finally have what I believe is their season opener, like home opener, with like 3 weeks into the season. No, it's not. It can't be. No, yeah, it is. They're 3-2-2. They've played 7 games on the road. Home opener. It's got to be like the latest home opener in league history or something like that. Against the defeated Sharks, I guess you could say, the opposite of undefeated. Macklin Celebrini is actually week to week. Heard my thoughts last week on that. I think he was hurt prior to the first game. They just wanted him to play. But yeah, it sucks that he's not in the lineup. Looking for a lot more from Will Smith. I think the Kings are going to keep them defeated. And I think it'll be a little Alex Laferriere show tonight down in LA.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, this is one game that I probably won't watch out of all of them.
Yeah, me. I won't watch that.
But like, if I'm the Sharks,
I'll watch the highlights in the morning, though.
Yeah, I'll watch the highlights as long as like Quentin Byfield like it does something.
Yeah.
I it's hard for the Kings not to win this game at least 5-0. I mean, Riddick's in the net, but like still, like.
Okay. Do you know who it is for the Sharks? Is it Vanacek?
It's McKenzie.
He's actually been. Oh wait, Will Smith is scratched.
Yeah, he hasn't been. I mean, he hasn't been
terrible. Like actually terrible.
You know who's been like benched a lot and like pretty nonchalant?
Cutter Gauthier.
Yeah, Kutch Goats.
He actually had a 2-point night. Not last night, but Frozen Frenzy night. But yeah, he's still.
He doesn't back check.
No, and that coach over in Anaheim, Greg Cronin, does not like that. So, yeah, interesting slate of games on tonight. Keep an eye on a few of the games we like. It was great to talk to everybody about a few concerns we have, a few of the injuries, and a busy night of hockey on this past Tuesday. So appreciate everybody for tuning in for episode 7. Keep a lookout for some more short form content over the next few days, and we'll be back with you guys next week. So appreciate it.